All right, guys, good morning. Just wanted to do a couple problems, not more than a couple, but maybe 10 or 15. Again, I know you can do most of these imaginary solutions with your calculator. I'm going to do them by hand, and I think you ought to do some of them by hand. Anyway, so I'll have the entire answer key posted Friday morning. Okay? All right, here we go. I'm going to try to do it on the paper, but I may go over to the notebook paper if I run out of room. Distribute 12 plus 8i. Distribute here, minus 32i. Distribute here, minus 12i squared. Okay, which means I'm going to combine the 8i and the negative 32i. It's going to give me negative 24i. Okay, and then here I've got 12 plus 12, which is 24. Okay, why is this plus 12? Because I squared is negative 1. Negative 12 times negative 12 is positive 12. Okay. All right, so change that to positive 12 and then do 12 plus 12 is 24. Okay? All right. Good deal. This next problem, I'm going to have to do it on paper, but I'm always afraid that my students are going to forget what I told them, that you cannot distribute an exponent. So what do we have to do here? We have to do 5 plus 5i. We've got to do repeated multiplication. We can do the box method, we can do FOIL, we can do double distributive. FOIL and double distributive are the same thing, and the box method is the same thing. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 5i is 25i. 5i times 5 is 25i. And 5i times 5i is 25i squared. That is a lot of 25s. I squared, excuse me. So in the middle here, got like terms. That's 50i. Over here, I bring down the 25. Over here, I bring down the minus 25. How's that minus 25? Remember, I squared is negative 1. Changes the sign. 25 minus 25 is 0. So the answer is 50i. It's number 3. Okay. Number 5. I hope you tried this problem before I do it, but I'm going to do 7 minus 4i minus 2 minus 3i. Okay. How did this become a minus 3i? Because think about it like this. There's a negative 1 right here, and you distribute this negative 1. Okay? All right. So, sorry. What did I do right here? 7 minus, I wrote 7i. How did y'all let me do that? Instead of 7, I wrote 7i. I'm blaming y'all. Oh, about to go through a tunnel. You can't eat me. Not cutting out. Sorry. I got through the tunnel. 7 minus 2 is 5. Negative 4i minus 3i is negative 7i. Okay. I'm going to pause the video so I can find my answer key, because you know how I like to make mistakes. Golly, there's really no reason for me to do 7. I like 9. Negative 2i when you distribute, and plus 7i squared. And then negative 6 times 3i is negative 18i. All right. 7i squared is negative 7 minus 20i. Okay. Remember, this right here is negative 7. And you combine these two, you get negative 20i. All right, 11, much like the same. 12, much like the same. 15. Those are all just multiple choice problems doing the same thing we did on the first 3 or 4. 17. I would like for you to know how to set this up, even though I guarantee you're going to use the calculator to answer it, okay? Guys, 17. How do you get I out of the denominator? I know for a fact there's a test question like that when you get back from winter break and we take a test. Okay, what is the conjugate of 3 minus 4i, everybody? Say it. I didn't hear you. Are you driving through a tunnel? Okay, I can hear you now. The conjugate of 3 minus 4i is 3 plus 4i. Good. So that's what you have to multiply the top and the bottom by. Okay? Now, it's going to take me way too long to do that for this video. So I'm going to speed ahead and write down the answer that your calculator is going to give you when you multiply all that out. But remember, all you have to do is type this into your calculator, the problem. You don't have to type in this extra that I wrote down. All right, so here's the answer. Now, your calculator is probably going to give it to you this way. 38 over 25 minus 9 over 25 times I. Those are the same thing. So I'm going to circle all that. That's your answer. Okay. Let me know if you get something different. All right. Guys, I think it's important to know this too. Again, negative 3 plus 2i over negative 6i. To me, the best way to do is to make sure that this bottom becomes a positive number. If I multiply by I over I, this is going to become positive 6 in the bottom. That's what I want. So I times negative 3 is negative 3i. I times 2i is 2i squared, which is negative 2. All over negative 6i times I is negative 6i squared, which is positive 6. That's my answer. And a good calculator is going to say that this is negative 1/3 minus 2 over 6 is 1/3, so negative 1/3. 3 over 6 is 1/2, so minus 1/2 I. Okay. So your calculator is probably going to give you something like that. I'll pause it real quick. Now, guys, looking at number 19, this is a multiple choice question, so it looks like D is the right answer because it matches my first answer here, okay? All right, number 21, I'll do 21, you do 22. Divide 75 by 4, you'll get a remainder of 0.75. That's 75 cents, which is 3/4. So it's I to the third. Again, divide 75 by 4 and look at the decimal. The decimal is 0.75, which means it's I to the third, which is negative I. Okay? All right, I'm almost at 9 minutes. I want you to do 22, 23, and 24 on your own. Those look fun to me. I'll post the answer key tomorrow morning. All right. I think I have enough room on this side to show my work. So, again, I'm going to zip through here pretty quick. Okay. The GCF here is n squared. And the GCF here is 5. Okay. So I get n squared times 3n minus 7 plus 5 times 3n minus 7. Okay, so my answer is 3n minus 7 times n squared plus 5. Okay. Notice that neither of these problems has a minus in it, so I'm going to do one with a minus in it to make sure you know how to do that. So here we go. 4n squared is the GCF here. And negative 5 is the GCF here. Negative 5, not 5. Anytime the middle term is negative, make the GCF negative. So I got 4n squared times 2n plus 5. And then I got minus 5 times 2n plus 5. So my final answer is going to be 2n plus 5 times 4n squared minus 5. Number 5, this is pretty quick. My magic numbers are 10 and 3. So my answer is a plus 10 times a plus 3. Why was this problem only 2 steps? Because the number in front of a squared was 1, which makes the bottoms up process only 2 steps instead of like 22 steps. All right. Factor this by taking out the GCF, so the answer is n times n plus 2. I hope and pray that you did not try to do sum or difference of squares there, because that would not work. This problem, the GCF is n. So I take out an n, and I get n squared plus 7n minus 18. Now I need to see if there's a bottoms up here with negative 18 and positive 7. Hopefully there is. That would be positive 9 and negative 2. Oops, there you go. So after I do the GCF, I got a trinomial in here, so I'm checking to see if there's some magic numbers. There are. So this is n plus 9 times n minus 2. And don't forget your GCF out front. All right. I'll do 9, and then you can do 10, 11, 12. Number 9, n squared plus 16n plus 28. When you multiply a times c, you get 28. Factors of 28 that add up to 16 are 14 and 2. So n plus 14, n plus 2. Don't get tricked into stopping here, because remember you multiplied a times c in the beginning. So you got to divide both of these by 7. So my final answer will be n plus 2 in parentheses, and bring the bottom up. 7n plus 2. I'll go down to 13 and 14. I'll do one of those. Dots. Remember the formula for dots is just a plus b times a minus b. So all I got to do is figure out what a is. A is 3x, because that's the square root of 9x squared. B is 5, because that's the square root of 25. So it's 3x plus 5 times 3x minus 5. Guys, this is a sum of 2 squares. A is r. BI is 3i. Remember, the formula is a plus bi times a minus bi. Same thing as the number 13, but r plus 3i. My time is up. R minus 3i. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I love you guys.